The MInstermen were formed back in 1922 and spent large periods of the 1900s in the old second division. They knocked the likes of Arsenal, Spurs and Manchester United out of cup competitions. They were giant killers.
But since 2014, the club has been poorly run and has faced a series of unfortunate events.
York City was a mess. Consecutive relegations saw them fall from the Football League all the way down to regional football, putting the club in its worst position in 50 plus years. And the on-the-pitch matters only made up half of the disarray around the club.
As the rest of the English footballing pyramid watched on, York just couldn't seem to get anything right.
Criminal players and train fare dodging managers were signed, the board was a shambles, pineapples were thrown at opposition goalkeepers, and their home ground was even turned into a 1940s Nazi-themed stadium at one point for a World War II TV show.
Despite all of this, over the past year, the club have somehow turned it all around.
In 2022, the year that marked their 100th in existence as a club, the MInstermen returned to the National League in what has proven to be a vital turning point. Then, last season, in York's first back up in the top flight of non-league football, the team managed to finish 19th, staying up. Partway through the season, young manager Michael Morton took over the reins of the club and was instrumental in their survival. He impressed so much so that he'll be continuing on as manager for this season. Also, back in June of this year, mother-son duo Julianne and Matthew Ugler took over the club. After a failed attempt to take over Yeovil Town FC, they quickly moved their interests and sights to York City FC and bought a majority 51% of the club. So I'm joined now by Matt, you're the chairman and the owner here at York City Football Club. Now, you didn't join too long ago, but what got you interested in the club? I know there was something with Yeovil and then you moved over to York.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were at Yeovil and it was kind of a bit of a mess. And I feel like we got a little bit sort of scapegoated there, and it was kind of like, well, we want to have a bit of a score to settle in a way, like show everyone what we can do. So we thought, let's come to York, and then we come up here and saw it, and it was just like the city is amazing, and the club just has such good facilities and good potential. So it was like a no-brainer.
And times have been difficult here at York in recent years. I know there was the relegations, but you're starting to work your way back up the leagues now.
Yeah.
You know, when you joined the club, is that something you had in sights to get back up to the Football League where the club belong?
Oh, definitely. I think we've set a sort of like, 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan, and hopefully by the end of that we're right up there. I'm not going to say exactly where we want to be, but definitely established in the Football League for sure.
And you mentioned those plans, those something you had in mind. As soon as you saw the club, you think, is it something that can change, or do you have your sights set on those exact points?
I think things obviously change, but we might have to adjust slightly here and there. You never know what comes out the woodwork, but no, I think we're pretty set on our plans, and no, I want to get to where we want to get to.
And I know the board has been a bit shaky as well, not just the on-field issues, but also the off-field issues. Do you think since you've come in the board, the squad has all been stabled a bit more? Yeah,
it feels like it's like a proper community feel back, and everyone's kind of working in the same direction. Like the manager's fantastic, the players are all like great, all like lovely boys, and then on top of that you've got the internal staff who've been fantastic as well. So it's just a completely different experience from what we're used to, because obviously we're down at Yeovil, it was kind of everyone trying to stab each other in the backs, and then here it's just like night and day.
And you mentioned the manager, Michael. He's obviously been kept on for this season. How have you found working with him, and why? Obviously it was before you came in that decision was made to keep him on, but why do you think he's such a good fit for the club?
I find him just like, fantastic. I couldn't speak higher of him. He has a plan, and we both kind of have the same sort of ideas where we want to take the club, and I think for his experience working under Bielsa and things like that he's definitely the right man to take us forward. I think he's new, he's like a young coach on the way up, rather than sometimes you get coaches that are kind of just happy doing what they're doing and maybe on the decline. I think we're really lucky to have him.
And it's the first home game of the season today against Kidderminster.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a real positive buzz around here, excited for the season?
I think there is. I think last week was like a bit of a dodgy one, so it might have dampened it a bit, but I think let's get back on track today, and then I think the Tuesday night against Altrincham will be massive.
And finally, last season was, the main aim was to stay up in this league. This season, do you think you could go one further and potentially push for the playoffs?
Who knows? Let's see what happens.
Well, good luck. And
Cheers.
Thank you for joining me.
Mate, thank you.
In 2021, York City moved out of their almost 100-year-old home, Bootham Crescent. It's since been demolished and is in the process of being turned into houses.
They moved into the £44 million York Community Stadium, which was built between 2017 and 2020 and could hold up to 8,500 people. It's owned by the local council and is shared with the York City Knights Rugby Club. So, from dark times, the Minstermen have risen, and under new ownership, at a new ground, and with a young, hungry and talented squad, things will only get better from here. Thanks for watching.